for Sam Sports Report. Let's do the defensive tackle, defensive ends. For the left defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox plays left defensive tackle. One of the best defensive tackles in football. Defensive tackle Joanne Hagerv. Right defensive left end Javon U. Pitt. And right end Josh Sweat. The 4 best linemen in football. Let's go from Chiefs. Chiefs defensive end Mike Dana. He has been a surprise this season. Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones, the second best defensive tackle next to Aaron Donald. The best player is Aaron Donald in the whole NFL. A lot of people think. Frank Clark always has showed up in the playoffs. That's why he's number 3 in the most sacks in NFL of all time. But has not had big years in the season since season number 1. Better year this year. He's not been as dominant as he's supposed to be. Maybe drop back his contract even more if he would sign. The Eagles drop back 8. The defensive ends are Mike Dana and Frank Clark. Defensive tackles are left defensive end George Karlaftis. Second man, Mike Dana. Frank Clark, right defensive end. Carlos Dunlap, second stringer. Left defensive end, Colin Saunders. And right defensive tackle, Chris Jones and Derek Nottie. The one I did skip is B. Williams because he doesn't get a lot of time playing. I don't even really know who he is, but that's what his name is. So here's how the defensive ends line up. If you can see this, I'm going to show you the center. So this, never understood, but tried to understand it. So right end is here. Now whichever choice they choose, right or left defensive tackle is here. Probably should be called center defensive tackle. Left defensive tackle goes here, and the ends come on this. So, one more time. Center defensive tackle, we'll call that for now. Left defensive tackle and right end and left end. Those are your 4 rushers. So, 2 defensive tackles, 2 ends on both ends of sides. They do not do a very good job of telling you that there's a right defensive tackle and a Chiefs middle linebackers, Nick Bolton and Willie Gay are very good, great players. Very good to great players. One of the best in the middle game is Willie Gay. I'll give the Chiefs a 2 out of 3 players to win that position. Harrison Reddick is obviously very good. The Eagles have number 7 in Daisley, Philadelphia Eagles, James Bradley. Chiefs defensive cornerbacks, L'Jarius Sneed, and they probably haven't got the Williams. Trip McDuffie on the right side, and Joshua Williams is the other cornerback. They are the 2 of the best rookies in the game, so they did not have this done in November when this was back at rated. When the article is out. Now we're going to go through the keys of the game for the Chiefs. Chiefs need to pressure the quarterback before Eagles Jalen Hurts gets running or gets throwing. Need to sack him. Chiefs need to get Hart, protect Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs need to get 30 to 25 rushing yards, 30 to 25 to 30 carries for both McKinnon, Pacheco, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who returns from the IR. For Eagles to win, Jalen Hurts have 200. 140 rushing yards total. In this game, I'm going to choose the Eagles 24-21. I had them 28-17, so I've come back around. Now I'm coming back around to the Chiefs but this hurts me to do that. I picked the Eagles, so I would pick the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I promised myself that. I don't know if I picked the Eagles or Bills, but regardless, I picked one of them in the Super Bowl. So I think I picked the Eagles, so I'm picking them to win. But my hope is 30-27, and now that it's becoming game time, my fan comes in me and makes me pick the Chiefs. But for now, we'll go 24-21 Eagles. Sorry to do that. 6:30 Eastern is kickoff. 5:30 Central is the Central Time. Now let's do some previews for college basketball. Kansas will play the Oklahoma Sooners, as we mentioned yesterday. The Jayhawks are coming off a win over Texas. Tip is at 1 from Norman. Will host Missouri in 18-6, 6-5 in SEC play. Tennessee's overrated, yes, but they're number 7. Give me Tennessee as much as Missouri has had a hard time on the road. 75-68. Tip-off is at 6. Kansas State won over TCU 82-61 against Texas Tech. Tip is at 7. This is the worst 2 teams in the Big 12. Number 23, Creighton to host. TCU to host Baylor. Tip is a 4 on ESPN2. Now more football with me and Jason.
Well, today in our big game spotlight of SB 57, we're going to talk to a man who's played as a player, as a head coach. He's played the game and won the game, and now he is currently a NBC broadcaster and sportscaster. We welcome Mr. Tony Dungy. And Coach Dungy, I want to go with this right here. As a player and as a coach, you won both games. Is there any marked difference as a player or winning as a coach?
You know, when I was playing, Eugene, I was solely focused on my responsibility. So what does it take to play safety? How do I have to cover this kickoff? You know, those type of things. When you're the head coach, you're thinking about a lot of different things, how to get your entire team ready, what's happening there, and really what it means to the whole city and the whole state, actually.
So, Coach, this is a historic first. You and Coach Lovie Smith had a historic first as being the 2 first African-American coaches to go ahead and play in the big game. And now we have a new first with 2 African-American quarterbacks. How significant is that, sir?
It really is. I can remember, Eugene, 1988. I was a young assistant coach. I'm watching Doug Williams, first African-American quarterback in the Super Bowl. They win it, and you think, okay, this is going to open up some things. And we did see more black quarterbacks, but I never dreamed it would be 35 years after that until we'd see 2 black quarterbacks facing off against each other. And, you know, Lovie and I did it in 2006, African-American coaches facing off in the Super Bowl. I thought it would happen again very soon. It hasn't. So hopefully this kind of opens up more doors. I think Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, the way they've handled themselves, the way they've led their teams, it has been awesome, and it's been wonderful to see.
As a defensive coordinator, and we know your defensive prowess and your expertise there, is it a matter of stopping both those quarterbacks? They both have a different skill set, and they bring so much to the table. So is it a matter of stopping those guys?
It really is. They're the catalyst to their team. They do so much off schedule. You can have the perfect defense set up and stop the play the way it's designed, and then they can create and make something happen that you can't really deal with. And to me, that would be the headache. I would hate to face either one of these 2 quarterbacks, really.
With last-minute preparations going on, what are the coaches thinking about, the head coach thinking about, and what is the head coach doing to go ahead and ensure his team is ready for the big game?
You know, it's funny, Eugene, when we went in 2006, I had not been in 27 years. One of the people I called was Andy Reid. Tell me about the game, how it's changed, what you do. And Andy gave me some things then that really helped me. He said, number 1, your team is going to feel like they've been at the Super Bowl all week. You've got to help them relax during the week so they don't put too much stress on themselves in the process. You've got to make it fun for them, help them enjoy the journey. Yes, it's serious. Yes, it's a big game, but you want them to enjoy it. So those are 2 things that I took from Andy, and I'm sure he's doing that with his team now. That's why I think the Chiefs have probably a little bit of an advantage because Coach Reed has been there before and been through this routine.
And Coach, I wanted my last question. Is there any prediction that you may have as you see, or what will this game, what would it take to go ahead and win this game?
Well, I think it's the defensive line that can get the pressure on the other quarterback. And we also have to see the health of these two quarterbacks. They're playing great football, but Jalen Hurts has had a shoulder injury the last part of the year. He wasn't throwing in the championship game the way he can throw. Is he going to be 100%? Patrick Mahomes obviously did a great job on that ankle, but with a high ankle sprain, as you know, one tackle, one step could put that in jeopardy. So if these quarterbacks stay healthy, I think it's going to be high scoring and a great game.
Coach, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
You're welcome, Eugene. Always great to be with you.
Take care, Coach.